Entrepreneur's Enigma is a podcast for the ups and downs of entrepreneurship, so the wins and the fails that we all face being entrepreneurs, and how we learn from adversity. Every week I talk to a different entrepreneur with a story to tell. I'm Seth Goldstein. Come with me on the journey. This is Entrepreneur's Enigma. Let's get started. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneur's Enigma podcast. I am, as always, your host, Seth. Today, I have a guy named Daniel Den. This guy, out of the blue on LinkedIn, actually on Podmatch, I think originally, one of the two, I don't know where, but out of the blue says, I want to send you a box full of goodies. And I'm like, okay, here's my address. So this box comes in the mail. And anyone who knows me knows I'm ADHD to the tilt. So, or the hilt, whatever the term is. And it comes with a book, which is a great book. I've started reading it. It's awesome. It's really down to earth, practical ideas on ideas that influence. So I open this box and it's full of, like, it's got light, it's got a mug, it's got sticky notes that don't stick. By the way, they don't stick very well. They're not the most sticky, but whatever. I'm sure they stick on paper better than they do on wood. But anyhow, other than that,
it's the humidity
it's the humidity in Philadelphia, exactly. So then, so I'm going through it, and it's like, do everything in steps, and I'm like, well, this is pretty audacious of this guy saying that I have to now redo this thing in steps. So of course, me being ADD couldn't wait. I opened up everything, lots of interesting stuff, and get like bouncy things, and this thing and that thing, a challenge coin, awesome stuff. I'm not going to completely ruin the whole box for everybody, but but Daniel here is a character. He is a marketer. He became fascinated with marketing and sales almost 2 decades ago. He is the co-creator of the X Factor effect methodology. That's a lot to say right there. And he's helped, and he and his team has helped over 20,000 students and clients grow their businesses through different, but the new better methodology, kind of thinking about how to think of things outside the box, kind of whatnot. And so for several years, Daniel has traveled the world full time with his wife and 4 kids. The guy's insane. 4 kids. I have 1. I can barely handle the 1. And, you live in Florida, and the ideas and influences his book, and he is a character, to say the least. Lots of energy. So he challenges me almost with energy. So how's it going, Daniel? How you doing, buddy?
Seth, thank you.
And he's got a great background too. Is that a real background?
Seth, the host, but it's the hostess with the mostest.
Oh, there, I know exactly. Nah. How is that real? Is that a real stone behind you? Or is that like a tarp?
No. This is a wallpaper, actually.
Really? It's really good wallpaper. I love watching when people have like really cool backgrounds. I went to IKEA for mine. I went and get the Billy Bull piece.
There you go. I couldn't.
You're a white wall. What are you going to do with it?
I couldn't find any stones, so I just bought the wallpaper.
I mean, you're in Florida. There's not a lot of exposed brick in Florida. Well, at least in the suburbs, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So how's it going? How you doing? It's been a while. We've chatted, then you lost your voice. I got sick. It's been crazy. But your voice is back.
That's the first time that like I lost my voice in like 5 years or something. It was crazy. My wife was like, "This never happens to you. Like, what's going on?" I'm like, "I don't know. This is absolutely insane." But yeah. Say that again.
Groucho Marx or someone,
Yeah. It was tough. It was tough. And then you were like, "Hey, I went through something similar."
I had laryngitis, and actually to do a podcast, my 200th podcast I did with my buddy Melissa, and I just got it done with laryngitis. So it was like, this one has to come out. We put it off. I'm like, I have to get it out. It's next week. Because normally these podcasts, like your podcast, is going to date it, but like we're recording in May, it's not going to come out to late July. It's just the way it is. Because everyone wants to be on the podcast. It's great, but everything is pushed out.
Yeah.
That one got pushed out till it's due the next week. And I'm like, all right. And then I have laryngitis on top of it. I'm like, oh my God.
My goodness.
You guys, the show must go on.
The show must go on.
So how this whole journey
Goldstein Media must go on.
Must go on, exactly. So how did this whole journey get started? You said for the past 2 decades, you've been fascinated with sales and marketing. But how did this all get started? Did you ever work for the man or the woman or the person?
Like not enough where it was like I really did. I worked for a marketing agency for like a year at one point in my, and then I when I was 17, I did a little bit of construction work. Outside of that, I've been pretty much an entrepreneur my whole life. But what I ran into, not unlike yourself,
Yeah.
because you for 6 years you were doing the journalist thing, and then
I pay
2008 was when you
attention.
started
Yeah.
to jump into the digital marketing space. So I started jumping into the digital marketing space right around the same time
Best
as
time
yourself.
at the start of a global recession. Best time to start your own business.
Yeah, right. For me, it was around 2007 ish. We started doing like a lot on eBay and stuff like that.
Oh, brave.
And
We're gonna take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show. eBay's
yeah,
its own beast.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it worked. It worked. And then I started doing other stuff. I learned like all the, I can do info products and I can buy traffic and and it was an absolute blast. It was like a great time to get, and as you know,
Yeah.
Seth, it was a great time to jump into digital
It
marketing.
was. You wouldn't
And
think during a banking crisis it would be, but it was.
it was. Oh my goodness. Like it was zigging. We were zigging when others were zagging, right?
Mhm.
So and what happened for me is I actually for a while I became what would be called a super affiliate. And I
Woo!
loved my super affiliate days. Oh, you became a super affiliate
No, I
too?
am just going, "Woo! Super affiliate."
Yeah,
No.
there you go. Super affiliates. You're the type of guy that can drive a massive amount of traffic, and you win these affiliate contests, and people like I got a pool table, like a $10,000 pool table, and that was the biggest prize I ever got as a super
Wow.
affiliate. But well, one of the things I did, and since you're in journalism, since you were in journalism,
Yeah.
Seth, you understand the concept of an advertorial. So
Yeah.
I invented the car insurance advertorial.
Ooh.
Literally, like there's nothing in the newspapers from like back in the archives that I know of, and nothing on the internet existed as an advertorial for selling car insurance until I wrote the car insurance advertorial, and it sold car insurance like gangbusters. And for a full
Wow.
6 months, I was the only person on planet Earth with a converting like crazy advertorial for selling car insurance as a super affiliate. And I was already planning my retirement, Seth. I was like,
Oh, wow.
this is
For
it.
6
Like
months,
this.
though. Yeah, then what
Yeah.
happened? Uh-oh.
Yeah. For 6 months. And then at the 6 month mark, somebody completely ripped off my
Oh,
advertorial. They just
welcome
like
to the
copied.
internet. Yeah, exactly. Welcome
Yeah.
to the internet.
They just swiped the whole copy, boom, and then they started running this. I mean, like word for word, like
Ugh.
just swiped it, and it's really hard if somebody like you could like like the way to go
It's tough.
legally on the
Yeah.
internet, copyright. It's not even worth your time. Like you have to
Yeah, a
figure
good
out
6
other.
months, and now it's time to pivot kinda thing.
Yeah, yeah. So because one copycat turned into five copycats, turned into 10.
But
Um,
imitation is the greatest form of flattery until it affects your bottom line.
yes, and it eventually did affect my bottom
Ugh.
line. So I started seeing a big decrease in what I was able to do personally with my advertorial, probably around the 1 year mark. And
Mm.
then I was like, okay, my days are numbered with this advertorial. I have to pivot. And what I
Mhm.
realized was I was falling victim to the copycat disease that
Mhm.
happens across all niches in all
Everywhere.
markets across the world. And I met up with my business partner. We started working together about 12 years ago. And right around the time when I was running into this problem. And we started developing a methodology called the X Factor effect, where we were able to start helping people that were falling victim to people copying their businesses and their practices and their offers and their copy and their headlines and whatever it was. And we started teaching people how to stack their differences that make a difference inside of their niche market in a way that's
Mhm.
so attractive and makes them such a unicorn
Yeah.
that they become a market leader or category king or category queen.
Yes,
And
they capitalize, like, "Yeah, you can copy my shit, but it's only so good because you're not me."
exactly. We started and we have nine different pillars, nine different massive ways where it's like unique ways that you're different, where if you stack a few of those differences in a way that's so attractive for your dream customers, it starts to become laughable if anybody
Wow.
else like copies exactly what you did. Like it would be like if 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 I saw everything that Taco Bell did and copied their menu and and, and I called it Taco Fellas. Okay, instead of
Uh-huh.
Taco Bell, it's Taco Fellas, and but it's like the same menu, like very similar names. At, at some point, people are gonna be like, they literally just ripped off Taco Bell. Like this is
Yeah.
laughable, right? And so we teach people how to get to that point,
Hmm.
and then people don't
Yeah.
copy everything you do once you
Uh-huh.
get to that point because it is laughable and it is silly. You know,
Yeah.
if I opened up McDougal's, then I'm gonna be a laughing stock, right?
Exactly. McDougal's. I like that. Wasn't that an SNL skit? I think it was an SNL skit, McDougal's.
That sounds really familiar,
I
actually.
know. You came out, you know, oh, yeah. I think it was
I,
McDougal. I think it was a SNL skit, a recent one, actually. Come to think of it. So you can't claim ownership of that one, though.
there you go. Ah, I'm a copycat.
Oh, no. So you
No.
created this X Factor thing. When did the box come into fruition?
So, so we grew this methodology down in Brazil,
Okay.
and we sold and grew this massive movement mainly with the Brazilians. And then
Hmm.
we started to get clients across the world. And we knew that we were going to eventually open up and take this methodology into the English speaking market because it's so powerful
That's kind of
and
neat.
works
Let's
so
pause here
well.
for a second. It's really neat. You started this in the Spanish, oh, in the Portuguese market, not in
Yeah.
the Spanish market for crying out loud. The Portuguese market, the Portuguese speaking market. I mean, and you're an English speaker, so I mean, I
Yeah.
assume you speak Portuguese too now by default. But I mean,
Yeah. But Portuguese is my second language. And we saw a
still,
blue ocean opportunity. And
that's
so,
brave, man.
yeah, it
To
was,
start with not your first language, your second language. I mean,
it was crazy.
Pedro is your partner, right?
Yeah. My business partner,
And
to
so I
be
assume
clear.
Pedro is the exact opposite. English is his second, and Portuguese is his first.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it kind of worked
Exactly.
out, but still, it's still brave. You know, most people think like if you're an American, you're going to start something in America. No, you started in Brazil, which is kind of
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. I was a unicorn. I was, and to my knowledge, still am the only gringo Portuguese speaking person that teaches marketing and sales
In
to
Portuguese.
Brazilians. I think I think I'm still a unicorn. I don't know of anybody else like me that
It's
did
brave. I don't know if it's unicorn or just insane, but it's brave, dude. It's brave. I mean, because you're going to a different market, different culture, even. I mean, the
Yeah.
Brazilians they're totally different culture. I mean, yeah, by default, they're Brazilian, not Americans, but still, it's also a very, you know, flamboyant, bouncy, you know, it's a different culture. Let's leave it at that. It's a different culture.
Yes.
And you went
I
in
learned
there and you
a massive
capitalized
amount.
on it and you rock and roll. And then you only then transplanted it back into America, which is even cooler.
Yep. And that's why there's with my book,
Yeah.
Ideas That Influence, I knew that we needed to practice what we preach.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to break into the English speaking market with this thing called the X Factor effect, well, I have to do something that has an X factor. And so that's why when I sell
Boxes.
my book,
Yeah.
I actually give it away. It's just free plus shipping. It's not just another free plus shipping book. It's a free plus shipping book plus box
Oh,
experience.
it's an experience, all right. It's
Thank you.
overwhelming. It's
And
awesome, though.
it's the first one. So
It
once
is. I haven't seen
again,
anyone else like that. Yeah.
unicorn, doing something different, but different in a way that your dream customers love. That's the trick. That you can't just
It's
be.
appreciated. Like, as much as I get overwhelmed by the box, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was like, "Oh my god." But, you know, but it's also like all you wanna do is play with stuff. It's like, you know, and then you get to the book, you read the book and the book's great, but, you know, it's an experience. It really is a full multi-sensory experience, and, you know, most authors don't think to do that, and I really appreciated the different way of doing it.
Thank you, thank you, Seth. Now
And your personality goes along with it too. So,
it.
and I met you, and I was like, "Wow, this guy has personality that goes along with it." If you see, we're not gonna use this photo in your album art, but there's a picture of you on Podmatch of you in a like a feather boa, fake leather. You know, like your alter ego,
Yeah,
flamboyant glasses, big gold chains, like completely not who I would expect when you meet you. But like it was like you're a character to say the
That's a
least.
story right there. That was for our biggest event down in Brazil,
Ooh.
which was right before the pandemic.
Oh, geez.
7,400 people at that event. That was our event. And because it was such a big deal, Pedro, he did a bunch of really cool things as well. But for my one main speech, because Portuguese being my second language, I usually only have enough RAM to come up with one really, really good speech during our
And
events.
you run out, you're like, "All right, Pedro, it's all you, buddy."
Yeah. Well, and we had other speakers that they invented as well. But so we were like, all right, it has to be amazing, it has to be memorable, it has to be sticky, it's got to be like something people talk
What's
about for
memorable?
years. And they do. They still talk about the people that were there. They still remember when I got up on stage and rapped in Portuguese
Oh,
in
jeez.
front of 7,400 people,
Brave
and
or
I got
insane, one of the 2, buddy. Brave or insane, a little bit of both. This crazy American.
Yep, exactly. They absolutely loved it. So I started the speech with a standing ovation because mic drop at the end and everything, and they just absolutely loved it. They were like, "This is amazing." And then in the middle of the speech, I got a second standing ovation. And then at the end of the speech, we ended with this really cool video, and then of course at the end of the speech, standing ovation as well. So that's the secret. I
It's a
know the secret to
trifecta,
getting
trifecta.
3 standing ovations in one
Yeah.
speech. Let's go.
You know, and then pumps you up for the rest of the day, that kinda
Yeah,
that's awesome, buddy.
that pumped me up for years, dude. Like
Oh, you still have
I'm
energy
still
from it,
pumped.
absolutely. So what is the best thing about being an entrepreneur in your mind? Since you've done mostly entrepreneurship.
Oh, I've always so for me it's been the creative side. I used to want to be a toy maker.
Oh,
That was like what I wanted to go to school for. But then when they told me, okay, you should probably do like engineering type stuff so that you can become a toy maker, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So I start taking the classes, and it's just a bunch of math,
oh, I
and it
know.
absolutely killed my creative spirit.
Yeah,
So I realized pretty quickly, and that's why I'm a full time entrepreneur for most of my life. I realized that to feed my creative wants and needs and the desire to make an impact on the
mhm,
world the way that I want to,
yeah,
entrepreneurship is the route to go.
absolutely. So on the flip side, what keeps you up at night besides your 4 kids?
Usually, the only thing that keeps me up all night, and I have a trick to overcome this, is if I start getting too excited about
Oh,
like a launch or
getting
something.
excited? Oh, come on, I can't see that.
And then I start to come up with all these ideas. I'm like, I could do this because there's so many possibilities as an entrepreneur. Like
Mhm.
literally, like
Endless,
the
endless.
world is your canvas. Like you can do whatever you want. And so my mind starts to, when it's time to go to sleep, sometimes I start thinking about all these different possibilities of what to do. Now, I figured out how to shut it off and go to sleep. The trick for me, and if this helps any entrepreneurs out there, you have to write it down. Whatever
Absolutely.
you are thinking about. If you do not write it down,
You're not sleeping.
yeah, your brain will keep on thinking and warn you, warning, you might forget this by the morning time if you don't write this down. And so so sometimes it's the smallest idea, like
And
super
tomorrow
small.
might be a dumb idea, but right then, it's really good
Yeah,
keeping you up,
right
yeah,
then I'm like, I have to write this down. If I don't write it down, then I can't sleep. I write it down and then I put it down, and then usually I'm able to go
yeah,
straight to sleep, and that's the trick.
that's awesome. So what is the most important thing to carry with you all the time?
So I'm addicted to the Notes app. So for
Ooh,
me, it's
yeah.
the Notes app on my phone. My phone tells me that it is my most used app.
Oh,
Is the Notes
wow.
app?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always in the Notes app. In fact, I have the Notes app open right now, and
Oh, yeah,
while I'm talking to you, it's
absolutely.
it's undeniable. So the
And it
Notes app
stinks, it
is my
just
second
works.
brain.
It just works, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I write all my notes and everything, and so I write things
It's how
down.
you go to sleep at night.
Yeah, I usually forget about what I wrote down, but then when it's time to pull all those best ideas together for a strategy meeting or to
Yeah,
launch the next big cool thing, it's all there. I've got my notes app open in front of me right now because I know Seth Goldstein. He lives in Philadelphia. He
Research,
owns
buddy. Yeah.
Goldstein Media. 2008 was when he started to get
I
into,
know. I was
WordPress
impressed
sites.
that you remembered all that. I'm like, the guy has to have that written down right there. It's like there's no way you remember all that.
Nah,
You're
trick.
good. You're just not that good. Yeah. I love it, man. I love it. So, Daniel, where can people find you online? Where is your sweet spot online?
Right now, I'm direct. I want to get people this gift. Like, this is cool. Like, people
Get this book.
absolutely.
Shipping Handling is worth it to get this gift. It is
Yeah, totally. I'm
wild,
telling.
man. And then but then always a lot, at least a week to get through it, or open all the things up and then realize you have no idea what these things are for, and then go back and read the book. It's one of the two.
Yeah, so I'm telling people to go to bigideasbox.com and grab one. Bigideasbox.com. You just put in your shipping information and you pay shipping and handling. And I'm going to send you the whole book and the whole box experience for free. That's how I'd absolutely love to kick off the relationship
I love it,
with
man.
you, listener. So
It worked.
that's where I'm talking. That's yeah. And people, the cool thing about this now, Seth. Now people are like, man, that's a really crazy idea, Daniel. Like, well, first of all, I vetted it with
Yeah.
my dream customers. I said, hey, if I did this, like, what do you think? And then I would show like people images of what I was thinking about putting together. The feedback was off the charts before it even existed. They were
Good.
like,
That's what
this
you
is
got. You got to
so
do. Figure
cool.
out your ICP.
Nobody's
Figure out
doing
your
this.
go-to-market strategy. All that good stuff. Yeah.
And so I went forward with faith because I did an ask campaign. And
Hmm.
then what I found is that about one out of every three people that buy post about it on social
Oh,
media and
absolutely.
somebody
This is
shares
something you got to post. I mean, I even got with no shipping and handling because I'm special, all that stuff. But when that shit came in the mail, I was like, how can I not post how nuts this thing is? He said, let me send you a gift, and then this box comes full of goodies, and I'm like, holy crap, this guy's insane in the best way possible, buddy.
Thank you, Seth.
And then
Appreciate it.
where's your social media hanging out? LinkedIn
Yeah,
mostly.
yeah. No, actually, no.
Ooh.
Usually my biggest is Facebook. So, but
Wow. It
it's
was not
just
expecting. I
because,
was not anticipating that one.
yeah. I have to get off of. I need to
Everyone says.
transition. I need to get into LinkedIn more. So I'm a baby on LinkedIn. The funny thing about LinkedIn, I opened up a LinkedIn account probably in 2007. And
We
then
all have, yeah.
I did nothing with it,
Yeah.
absolutely nothing with it. And now in 2024, so I go to Podfest, and everybody. I find out everybody at Podfest, everybody I met was like LinkedIn. So anyway, I'm like, what the heck? So
You're getting more into LinkedIn, but check you out on Instagram, all that good stuff, all the meta properties. Check it out.
yeah,
The Big Idea book, all that good stuff. The ideas that influences the book. We'll hold it up here for everyone who's watching the video. Great
woo,
book. Read it. Do the activities. Try to not skip ahead, though I did, and open all of the envelopes because you feel that these envelopes. You're like, "What's in this?" You're like, "Oh, I gotta open it up," that kind of thing. So, but it's worth it, buddy. Awesome, Dan. Thank you for being on. Happy traveling. Good luck with the 4 kids. Oh my God. God bless you for just that alone. And we'll see everyone next time.
thank you, Seth. You're amazing.
Oh, I appreciate it. You are too. That was a great show. If you're enjoying Entrepreneurs Enigma, please review us in the podcast directory of your choice. Every review helps other podcast listeners find our show. If you're looking for other podcasts in the marketing space, look no further than the Marketing Podcast Network at marketingpodcasts.net. Goldstein Media hopes you have enjoyed this episode.